What's up, everyone? It's Jay here, and I am back with my NFL predictions. To recap Week 7, I lost 5 out of my 13 predictions, but this week they're going to be 15 predictions because we have two teams on bye week, which is Las Vegas and Baltimore. So, to start Week 8 out, the first one will be Green Bay at Arizona, and I am picking the Cardinals winning 36 to 30. Now, you know that the Cardinals are the only undefeated team left in the NFL. And despite JJ Watt's injury, I predict that the Cardinals will still be able to stay undefeated 8-0. It's going to be a high scoring battle. You got two good teams, but it's in Arizona, and I think Kyler Murray is going to pull it off. Number 2, Carolina at Atlanta. And I am picking the Falcons winning 31-21. Matt Ryan is now 3-3, but the Panthers has lost 4 consecutive games with Sam Darnold as starter. So, I expect the Falcons to pull it off. They're kind of getting the rhythm together, and the Panthers will fall 3-5. Number 3, Tennessee at Indianapolis. Tennessee only allowed 3 points against them, against Kansas City. In Indianapolis, they came up with such a win in San Francisco, despite committing only 2 turnovers. So, I believe Tennessee will win 31-23. And the reason being is Tennessee, they just got a better offense. They got a better running back. They got a better quarterback, wide receiver core. But I think Tennessee's just going to stop Indianapolis. They're going to stop Jonathan Taylor and Carson Wentz. That's my prediction. And Tennessee, they'll sweep Indianapolis. Easy win for Tennessee. Number 4, Cincinnati at New York Jets. You saw what Cincinnati did to Baltimore last week. And I'm picking the Bengals winning this one. 31-3. Now, New York is just an embarrassment. New York Jets, this one. And they lost pretty badly to the Patriots. So I expect the Bengals to just dominate the ball on both sides. And New York Jets is just going to be touchdownless. Only one field goal. So Cincinnati's just going to win it. Number 5, Miami at Buffalo. And I'm picking the Bills winning 42-7. In week 2, Buffalo beat Miami on the road 35-0. I expect Buffalo to dominate both sides of the ball and give Miami 0-10 chances, maybe 1 touchdown, but Buffalo's just going to win it. Number 6, Pittsburgh at Cleveland, and I am picking the Browns winning 23-20. Now Pittsburgh is 3-3 and Cleveland is 4-3, so I think Cleveland will have a better chance of winning since it's in Cleveland, and they're getting some key players back: Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield, Jadeveon Clowney, I believe. Myles Garrett's always been there, but at least a few of the key players who were on IR or injured. But nonetheless, Cleveland will just win in Pittsburgh, maybe a few turnovers, maybe a last missed field goal, not to tie the game. That's my prediction, but who knows? Number 7, Philadelphia at Detroit, and I'm picking the Eagles winning 21-20. Now, Philadelphia, they're 2-5. Detroit, they're 0-7. But Detroit's just being a struggling team from what I've seen. Philadelphia, at least they won some games, some close ones perhaps, except the Atlanta one. But I think Philadelphia can pull it off. Jalen Hurts is somewhat of an adequate player, but the Eagles' defense and everyone just has to step up the game, I believe, for Philadelphia if they want to win it, or else Detroit's taking it. But I'm predicting Philadelphia wins 21-20. Number 8, Los Angeles Rams at Houston, and I am picking the Rams winning 35-7. There's no need for a deep explanation here, but I can tell you that Aaron Donald and the entire Rams defense and Matthew Stafford on the other side, they're pretty good. They just dominate games, especially on both sides of the ball. And Houston's a struggling team. They lost 6 games in a row. Easy win for the Rams. Number 9, San Francisco at Chicago, and I'm picking the 49ers winning 23-16. Chicago was a complete embarrassment in Tampa Bay. And San Francisco too was an embarrassment with 4 turnovers. But I think San Francisco has a better players and better talent on the roster. Despite some injuries, I think they'll be able to pull it off in Chicago. Number 10, New England at Los Angeles Chargers, and I am picking the Chargers winning in overtime 30-24. Justin Herbert and Brandon Staley have a winning record 4-2, And New England is 3-4, so I think Herbert's on pace to make the playoffs, I believe, versus New England. They're still rebuilding, and I think Herbert's played well these past games, and Mac Jones too, but I think Herbert's just going to take this one because he's a second year, unlike Mac Jones. Number 11, Jacksonville at Seattle, and I'm picking the Seahawks winning 23-13. Jacksonville still needs proper coaching, proper defense, proper offense, but Seattle, I think they're well established, except Russell Wilson's been injured, and at least the Seahawks have allowed less than 20 points, or less than 30 points. My bad. I think Seattle's defense is getting somewhat a little better, but not a lot. But I think they'll be able to limit Jacksonville because Jacksonville's still in the rebuilding mode. Number 12, Tampa Bay at New Orleans, and I'm picking the Buccaneers winning 32-28. Yes, it's a division rival, but Tampa Bay is number 1 in their division. New Orleans is number 2, but I think Tampa Bay's just got everybody, got a complete recruited roster. They're going to win it. Maybe you'll see a few touchdown runs from Alvin Kamara, Jameis Winston, but I think Tom Brady's just going to dominate the entire game. Number 13, Washington at Denver, and I'm picking the Washington football team winning 19-17. Both teams are very shitty on defense and very shitty on offense for the most part, but I believe that Washington can at least pull out a close victory to advance to 3-5. And frankly speaking, Denver they've lost 4 games in a row, unlike Carolina, and I think they just need a better quarterback. Number 14, Dallas at Minnesota, and I am picking the Cowboys winning 30-28. Dak Prescott has won 5 games in a row. Kirk Cousins is at least 3-3, so I probably expect a high-scoring game like Tampa Bay and New Orleans. Dallas, they're finally getting their act together from what I'm seeing. Dak Prescott, I believe, will clinch the division, and nonetheless have a home playoff game. So it's an easy win for Dallas. At least Minnesota has some talent, but Dallas will just be clutching the game. Finally, number 15, New York Giants at Kansas City, and I'm picking the Chiefs winning 30-13. Yes, Kansas City, I think despite Mahomes' 9 interceptions thrown, he still has thrown a lot of touchdowns. But I believe that Kansas City will be able to dominate both sides of the ball. But New York, they're just struggling. Kansas City, on the other hand, they're struggling on defense, but their offense is good. So I think Kansas City will just win the game. No deep explanation needed. And that concludes all of Week 8 explanations and predictions. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Otherwise, I'll see you next week for Week 9 predictions.